Our pleasure to introduce the Vice President of the NJEA, Sean Spiller. Good to see you, Sean.
Good to see you too.
Tell folks about your teaching background. You started when and why?
Oh, a number of years ago now. It goes by so quick.
What area?
Science, high school science teacher, anatomy and physiology, and started in Kinnelon, New Jersey, and ended up in Wayne for a majority of the time that I've been teaching. And love it. Love every minute of it. Love the kids. Love what I do. It's one of the greatest professions in the world.
We should also make it clear that Sean and I know each other from the same hometown, if you will. You recently became the deputy mayor of the great town of Montclair.
That's right. Now I can marry people. So if you know anybody that, yes.
I plan on staying married, and I also will not bring up property taxes in Montclair.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
Is
enough.
it fair to say
I
that
pay them too? So yes, I got it.
People bring that up in town, don't they?
Yeah. You heard a little bit.
That. Let's talk education.
Thank you.
This convention,
yes,
social justice is a big theme. Someone might say, why are we talking about social justice with educators in public schools? You say?
I think we have to be. We educate kids every day, and every day those kids come in. They want to learn, they're excited to, but they come in with a lot of challenges in many cases. And a lot of that is that social justice work, that education justice, which leads to student success, which is that theme that we have for the convention. Because we understand that if we're just closing our classroom doors, just trying to bring out those textbooks and hopefully teach the kids something, we're missing a big opportunity to make sure these kids can be successful. Define social justice
for people who say, yeah, I know the term, but...
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that, because I think it's different. It's not always the same thing. People don't exactly understand what it means. I think more broadly, it means fighting for something that's right against something that's wrong, making sure everybody at least has that fair shot, that fair shake at success. We talk about the American dream. We know that starts with a great education. And how do we remove barriers to a student being able to come in and learn? Does that mean they've got to have food if they need it? Does that mean they've got to have support for their parents if their parents are in need? Does it mean a number of different things? That social justice can mean so many different things to so many different people, but at the core of it, it means making sure that our students have an opportunity to come into our classrooms and to learn.
Sean, help us understand this. You've been teaching for a few years.
Yeah.
The profession has evolved in many ways.
Sure.
Biggest change is?
In a bad way, a lot more paperwork and check the box type things where people who aren't educators have come in and say, under the banner of accountability, which we all want accountability, but have come in under that banner to say, we're going to try and standardize. We're going to try and make sure everyone does this the same way. We're going to check on that by making you fill this out or document that. And I think it's really gotten us away from the art of teaching. There's a real art to it, and allowing educators to have a little creative space within the framework of certainly the curriculum and what students have to learn. But I'm a professional. We're professionals. Let us do our job. Let us do what we've studied for, what we've really gone into this career because we're passionate about.
But it's interesting. I thought you might go in a different direction, particularly given your background in science. Technology.
Yeah, big changes.
Dramatically changed not just the way students learn, but how teachers must teach.
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
So?
Well, I'd say...
And give us an example.
Yeah, well, let's pick an easy one. We've gone, smart boards became a thing after projectors were a thing, which were a thing after chalkboards were a thing, right?
No transparencies anymore?
Yeah, no more, which probably to everyone's benefit. But
yeah, right.
Those changes do always occur, and I think they're great. There's so many cool things you can do now, and the kids are always ahead. They get it, they know it. But I still think at the core of it, it's the same. You do have to learn it. You have to keep on top of it. You've got to keep evolving. That's a lot of what we're doing here at the convention, making sure people stay up to date.
A lot of workshops, professional development.
A ton of workshops, a lot of high-tech hall and everything else that you see. But it's still teaching. You're still using something to maybe present it in an interesting way or have kids find something out in a different way.
Is it human interaction still?
There is. I think there is.
With teacher and student.
Yes.
And is it harder, sorry for interrupting, Sean.
Yeah.
Is it harder to keep the attention of students today? I'm thinking about our kids in the dinner table.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
Get the technology out of there. You can't, and in a classroom, no, they're not using the technology when they're not supposed to, but, long-winded question, I know, is it harder to get it and keep it?
I think it is. I think that's why I pause a little bit, even in that technology is a great thing, but I think we all see those challenges. I'm sure as parents, you see that challenge, but also as educators. It's an exciting piece where you can introduce something or use technology, but there is that risk that students are so used to an instant result on technology use.
Keep me entertained.
Keep me entertained, you know, and that's always a lot of what, you know, teaching was to make sure students are entertained. But that bar with technology is so high now that it's just tough to be something that captures that
But you
attention.
also use it in the classroom.
Absolutely, you have to use it in the classroom.
It's a tool.
It's a tool, and it's a very useful tool. And if you're not ahead of that curve, you're being left behind.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you, Sean.
Much appreciated.
Well
Always
done.
good to see you.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 30 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by Rowan University, New Jersey Sharing Network, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Englewood Health, NJM Insurance Group, the Turrell Fund, supporting right from the start NJ, and by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.